What we doing?
Ash Jr. And we're live.
All right. We're live. Welcome to another episode of Dirty Air, but this is Ash Jr. We're knocking out our Tuesday show here. Ash Jr. brought to you by Xfinity. If you checked out, we used to talk about it, the Xfinity Internet. Now we're doing the Xfinity Mobile. 5G coverage everywhere. Hot spots everywhere. Never going to let you down. If you make the switch today, you can save with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. We love everything that Xfinity does for NASCAR. They sponsor the Xfinity Series. And they also help us here at Dirty Mo Media. Have a lot of fun. Anyways, we're back. Were we live last week?
I think we were live last week.
I think we were live. Yeah.
All right. Well, glad to be back. How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Yeah, it couldn't be better.
I know some of the people that are listening may have heard about the hats. We signed some old 2006 Bud hats I found in the back of this storage bin at my house, and we had 50 of them yesterday, and now we're down to 25 before we started recording. Maybe we've sold a few since we've been in here. Those were popular. People were mad because we didn't put them online.
Gotta get here.
Gotta get them while they're hot.
Yeah. Hey, I don't run the store. That's a Dale Earnhardt question. I'm just kidding. So you got some questions for us today?
I have some questions. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
going to try and not throw you on the spot as much this
Don't
week.
put me on the spot, man.
So the first question, what is 917 divided by 4? It's 229.25, correct?
Almost still.
All right.
This first question is coming from Kyle. What are your thoughts on, I guess there was a picture posted on social media, changes to the bus stop at Watkins Glen. Was that...
Where they took the curb down.
Yeah.
Fine. It's fine.
You're good with it?
Yeah.
Was it like, and Larson showed his like mouth guard data? Was it
I
as
retweeted
rough
that.
as?
Listen, I haven't drove a next gen car through there, but I can look at that data and tell you that I don't want nothing to do with that. The drivers are one of the things that's changed at the bus stop is, so 20 years ago, you never went into there side by side. Like, if somebody got underneath you in the braking zone, you get to like the 400, 300 marker or whatever, and you kind of got to make a decision, like, is he going to outbrake me? And it's basically like a personality test. It's like, is this guy going to be like stubborn and try to charge into this corner? Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let him get it and take the spot, because we cannot go in there side by side. You're gonna hit, and somebody's going in the sand trap. When they got rid of the sand trap, they paved it. Now you can hit, spin out, and keep going. You're not gonna get stuck. So now they started racing in there side by side, arguing into the best bus stop, like, jumping curbs and getting crazy. And taking that curb down is just going to make them race through there harder. This is a win for anybody who's watching a race at Watkins Glen, especially if you're standing up there doing radio style like I was doing for NBC. I loved it. I was always going to have something to talk about. So for people watching at home, or for people in this, at the racetrack, taking that curb down and allowing them to even be more aggressive and race even harder into that is good. I see nothing wrong with it. And so, it takes the unnecessary physical abuse that's happening to the driver out of the equation, right? So, yes, please. I mean, is it necessary that we beat the drivers up going through there? They're not going to go around that curb. It's faster to go over it. So they're going over it. All right? You got to protect them from themselves. So it's going to be fine, people.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
This next question, I saw this.
I wanted to say, there's a guardrail, right?
Yeah.
And so somebody may hit that, and that's okay too, right? Let's not, the first person that bounces off that guardrail because the curb's not there, let's not all freak out and go, well, that damn curb, they should have put the curb back. They took the curb out. Now look what happened. It's racing, people. It's okay.
Yeah. This next question, I saw a bunch of people asking this one on Twitter. NFL draft was this past weekend.
Yep.
Thoughts on how did the Commanders do?
Well, I just read I read social media, and it seems like that everybody's giving them great grades for the job they did. So I was, this isn't going to matter to a lot of people because there's probably not a ton of Washington Commanders fans on here right now. But our offensive line, particularly left tackle, we got a new rookie quarterback coming in. That is the offensive line's the engine, the drivetrain of every successful team, and we got to fix that, and we needed to, and I hope we did. So.
I like the pickup though, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
he was
former Sun Devil.
Hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna. There was so much debate about, who's the best second quarterback, right, to come off the board. Drake and Daniels and JJ from Michigan. Mm-hmm. There was so much debate about who. They're gonna miss on. Somebody's gonna miss, right? Now we'll have to find out. Time will tell whether we made the right choice or not. But it ain't gonna matter if he can't. Be protected.
That's always the debate after a quarterback gets drafted. Like I remember Patrick Mahomes was taken after a couple quarterbacks. Could have had him.
Yeah.
So.
Right, but also I'm just saying his kid ain't got a chance if he can't get
good point.
Get the ball out of his hands. If he's scrambling for his life every time he drops back, he just knows he's going to get creamed because nobody can block.
Look at Bryce Young.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't really watch football, but y'all did a good job there.
Yep.
Covered it. This next question coming from Marco. There are new additions to the NASCAR Hall of Fame ballot. What did you think of that? I think they added Biffle, Randy Dorton, Ray Hendrick, Jack Sprague, and Bob Wellborn.
All of these people are all these people certainly deserve consideration. No question. I mean, there's no wrong answer. It's more about your own opinion, your opinion out there, and our individual opinions about who we feel like should go first. Mm-hmm. And I guess as I'm learning this process and getting to know more and more about the Hall of Fame, I'm really surprised at how difficult it is for myself and anyone else to really appreciate the impact that somebody that raced, say, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s had. We can currently, all of us, you guys and especially me at 50 years old, we pretty much have a pretty good understanding of some of the players in the 80s and early in the 70s even, and their impact, and we still feel like we've got a good understanding of how important they were and whether they measure up. But it's surprising to me that it's surprising to, and I guess you could make the argument for me as well, having been inducted into the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people that haven't gotten in that should be in, that are typically from our older past, right? And then there's Larry Phillips. Everybody, like all of the racers, like Mark Martin, all of the guys that know and raced with Larry Phillips are like saying he is beyond qualified. Like this is a big miss that he's not in. Many, many years, like Larry's been on the ballot, right? And he's not gotten in. And it's because he didn't make an impact in the Cup Series or the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series that we all know so well, right? He was racing at all of the short tracks around the country in different forms, but super ultra successful. And so the people that know that type of racing and people that came up through that will tell you that Larry Phillips was amazing, should be in. Absolutely. Won hundreds and hundreds of races, right? But he's not getting in, you know? And someone like me, right, that won 26 Cup races and a couple Xfinity Series championships hops right over him. And so another guy that I mentioned on social media, Ray Elder, won 6.
Mm-hmm.
He won 6 West Coast NASCAR championships. You know, in the on the West Coast, NASCAR had a Cup Series, and there's the argument that it was not as competitive, obviously, as the East Coast, but we've got drivers that are in the Hall of Fame, are considered for the Hall of Fame, that raced in limited competition, but were successful, right, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And there's the conversation around Richard Petty and his 200 wins, and some of those wins being against relatively non-competitive fields, but it's wins nonetheless. It counts, and it should count. But Ray Elder wins 6 championships for NASCAR in a NASCAR bannered series on the West Coast in a Dodge. And when the NASCAR teams would travel to Riverside and the West and East ran together, he beat them twice.
Yeah.
He ought to be in there. He's not even on the ballot. I haven't even heard his name his name's not even been uttered in the room when they're talking about this. Not that I've heard. I've been in the room when the conversation's happening around who. And I've maybe, it's my mistake for not maybe bringing him up. But, and there's several Ray Elders, right? That, if you want to talk to historians and people that know the sport really well, they've all got a guy. There's a lot of people that believe AJ should be in. I don't know. That's a tough one. It's not the hall of statistics. It's not the hall of success, And so there's a good argument for AJ. And he was on the ballot last year, right? And he's not on the ballot.
Right.
It's interesting. So, but yeah, I think that, and Sam Ard. Damn. Sam Ard, dude, was unbeatable in the Busch Series in the 80s and up in, even before that, racing in Sportsman Series in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And he got knocked off the ballot, and I almost feel like I should apologize to his family for that. That's horseshit. He should have been not getting knocked off. He should be going in. It's his time. This was his year. And he was so close, I think, over the last couple of years, he was seen to be getting maybe closer to that induction. Now he's off the ballot. All right.
You made some good arguments there.
I don't know. I mean,
hey, you put their names out there,
listen,
know.
There's no wrong answer, and everyone should be recommended, and it's tough, especially when you knock it down and you only got 3 people going in. When it was 5, it was a little easier, but that was a long night. And then there seems to be that whether they're alive or dead weighs on someone's vote. That shouldn't matter. What the hell was that? Why does that matter?
It's Hall of Fame. That's what it should be about.
Whether they're alive or not alive.
Right.
Whether they can come and give a speech or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a good. We've got a tight show.
Yeah.
Tight show today, so that's probably a good place to end Ask Junior this week.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. It's been a lot of fun. Xfinity has done a lot of great things for us, and we appreciate them. And we're promoting their Xfinity Mobile. Great coverage, Wi-Fi hotspots all across the country, and they're doing a lot for our sport. So we want to support all the businesses that spend money and help NASCAR grow. Hope everybody enjoyed Ask Junior today. I certainly did. Some great questions, great conversation. The Hall of Fame conversation is never easy. It isn't, and it always comes up every time around this part of the year. It can get emotional. But anyhow, whoever does get inducted will be deserving, and we will celebrate them, and they should have an incredible experience because it is badass. And so anyhow, Dirty Air comes out later today. We talked to Denny. He called in. We asked him about his win. Talked about air blocking and mirrors and charters. So you want to listen to that. And then tomorrow, Chocolate Myers is coming back to the show. Chocolate was here in 2020, but we were doing that over video call. So this will be his first time in the studios. And since he's had some health issues that he's overcome, and joining that conversation, Kirk Shelmerdine.
That's awesome.
So
Amazing.
Kurt, listen, I want everybody to know. Kurt reached out to me. He said, hey, man, if you get Chocolate back on there, I want to come in. I'm like, all right. So we're going to have Kurt and Chocolate. Kurt wants to kind of help me interview Chocolate, which will be interesting because, yeah, Kurt's an interesting guy. So it should be fun to see both of those guys again, and especially with Chocolate, getting better and being able to see what they're up to. That'll be a fun conversation. All right, we'll see you. Clear.